Stefan,
Hello, how are you?
it's over.
It is over.
It's all over. We have to stop our winning run, our winning streak. It's gone.
It has gone.
How you feeling?
Don't know. Because to be honest, it's exactly how I expected it.
Yep.
I thought we would huff and puff and we wouldn't blow their house down.
Is that a literary reference there?
Yeah. And that's exactly what we did. And it's so
frustrating.
I suppose the progress is at least we're putting in good performances against the top teams now.
Yeah, City and Liverpool earned their wins against this.
And that's it. We made them earn a victory. I feel like they did do it at a slight canter in the second half, but we made them earn it. We made Klopp send them out early. We made make substitutions early.
Him ranting and raving on the touchline, you know he's troubled. He's worried.
And from where we were, I suppose we've got to take that as a good sign and progress.
Yeah,
it's just the context, because it puts so much importance on other games.
Well, Saturday for me, I don't know who I said it to. Anyone who's prepared to listen to me. For me, I said if you offered me 3 points from these two games, I'd have snapped your hand off. Today was a free hit. I know that's a bit pessimistic, bit fatalistic perhaps, but I always saw the Villa away on Saturday as the game that we have to win. We didn't have to win tonight. We're still in fourth place. We're 1 point ahead of United. We've still got 2 games in hand. Spurs winning wasn't a surprise with Brighton's form. It still would have been nice. Spurs play West Ham on, is it Saturday or Sunday? But West Ham are without Jared Bowen, without Antonio. Like it's a nice time to meet West Ham.
But it's also them two playing each other. Someone's dropping points.
I'm not worried about West Ham. I'm worried about Spurs.
You know.
No, I mean, I know we've got to play both away as well. But that's Liverpool tonight. That's our hardest game out of the way. There's no other game we play and that I won't be genuinely thinking we can win. I'll be worried and anxious and all of that. But this was the only game I thought, nah, we're not going to.
See, I think Chelsea are back in their stride a little bit.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know how their game finished tonight. I know they were winning 2-1 and were fairly comfortable in aggregate.
But we can still go there and trouble them.
Yeah.
You know, not maybe not win, but we can get a draw there. I'd be not confident, but I'd be genuinely hopeful of not losing. And because you don't know what, how this is going to affect them. I mean, the poor Devils have to get a 10-hour round trip on a coach to Middlesbrough at the weekend, and all their home games in the Champions League from now on are behind closed doors. So
my heart bleeds.
Oh, it's a terrible situation for the poor little souls, isn't it? Keep politics out of football. That's what I say. That's what the Chelsea fans are saying, right?
That's what a lot of people say.
Yeah, but so I don't know. Start the first half. I mean, look, I like your analogy, the huffing and the puffing. And again, I think I thought Martinelli was unplayable at times. I just thought that was such a performance. He had Trent Alexander-Arnold on toast.
Going backwards, definitely.
Oh my, it was fantastic. That in the second half, that run, and when it was still 0-0. Oh, if that cutback had found an Arsenal player.
Well, that's the thing. I can't make my mind up because of the way that the ball fell for their second goal, the way it ricocheted off Saka and just fell into Robertson's lap, meaning that, he's got all the space in the world. It did just feel like the ball broke for them a bit. But then in my mind, I just think, well, they are top for a reason. Is there something in that? Is it that our forwards didn't get in front of their man to meet that cutback? Or could Martinelli have not picked someone out a little bit more accurately?
But even in the Liverpool goal, for that Liverpool goal, the second one, Saka should had no business having his pass down the line blocked by Robertson. It was his fault. Okay, it broke for them, definitely. It could have easily bounced out. But Saka should have. Saka should have. It should never have had that opportunity. But before that as well, the same thing happens on the right hand side in the same move, and then it ricocheted off 2 or 3 of the Arsenal players and went out. I mean, we had ample opportunity to clear that goal. The first goal is a Ramsdale mistake, no question. However, I don't hold. There's no blame attached to him at all in terms of for that result. He makes a mistake, it's a goal. That's the kind of the Russian roulette of the goalkeeping world. It's a defender makes a mistake, and it could be 1-on-1, but the keeper can still bail him out. A striker makes a mistake, and that's it. We just carry on with the game. There's no concession of a goal on our part. So I don't. Yeah. He's saved us enough already. That's his first mistake this season.
Maybe
that's led to a goal. It's led to a goal.
It's the fine margins between the top teams where, again, for all our effort, the one good chance that Alisson does get an arm to and lift it, doesn't go in, and then their first chance falls and it does, and it's.
Yeah, but
you only get 1 or 2 opportunities against the likes of Liverpool, and we couldn't take it, and you just have to hold your hands up.
Well, that's it. Ødegaard's made a mistake, and Ramsdale's made a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
But Ødegaard's didn't cost us a goal, but it did cost us a goal in that sense. I know he had a keeper and 2 defenders to beat, but they were all in the same line. He could have, the way he placed his goal against, I don't know, who was it? Watford. He that had to be a precision finish, not a powerful finish. Because he didn't need the power.
No.
He just needed the placement. And that was the only moment of the game I got out of my seat.
Yeah. Same.
I genuinely thought that was it. I thought we'd got it. We've got the goal. I mean, we still might well have lost the game, but
we just want a goal against them. The next step is a goal.
I didn't realise that's 5 games without us scoring against them.
Yeah.
That's
having also been, it swung the other way, because I'm sure it's the maybe the North London derby aside, it's the fixture that seems to produce quite a lot of goals.
No, statistically, it's the highest scoring Premier League fixture.
It is, even above the North London derby.
Yep.
Right. Well, there you go. So it seems to have swung the other way, where we've obviously tightened up and they're just nicking it 1 or 2-0.
Yeah, they demonstrated tonight why they're going for the league title and we're going for 4th place. And I think that's fair enough.
I would have said that actually I still think City will do it. But there's something about City against Palace on Monday that made me stop. And I know they created bags of chances and Palace rode their luck and all that kind of thing, but there was just something, Guardiola didn't make a substitution.
That's odd.
And there is something really odd, and he's the kind of guy, everyone picks up on this thing where he takes a team, Man City particularly, deep in the Champions League, and whatever they're doing right gets them there, and then he changes it because he must overthink things or something, and just something. I got that vibe against Palace that makes me think, and Liverpool they were underwhelming first half as well. They looked a bit stodgy. I think, Merson called them leggy a little bit in the first half, and that's absolutely right. But
that might be down to us.
And we might have forced that a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm not taking away from us, but the second half, the changes they can make.
Yeah, I mean, that's ridiculous.
It's not fair.
No, well, we used to do that. That used to be us.
Absolutely.
But yes, I mean, having said that, bringing on Emile Smith-Rowe and Pepe, that's our top scorer and our record signing.
But it's not the same, is it?
No, it's not, as Salah and Firmino at all. No. And I just think that two goals in 6 minutes or 8 minutes, whatever it was. And I just worried. I actually got up and walked out of the room for a little bit. Made myself busy doing other things because I didn't want it to go 3 and 4-0. I thought
it's funny. I'm not getting that vibe. I still didn't even get it today. I think there was the response to their second goal was kind of flat from us. So I got the impression that it was a bit of maybe damage limitation, players managing the game and not busting a lung to get that the message has probably gone out that although we're going to try and get everything we can, we have to manage. We've got 3 games in 6 days, and this is the starting 11.
And taking Ødegaard off, I think absolutely signals that, as Arteta didn't, it wasn't a defense, it was like for like, I guess, possibly even more offensive, if you like. Emil might be more of a forward, kind of. Ødegaard probably has more of a midfield play about him, perhaps. Emil Smith-Rowe a little bit further forward, although Xhaka was there as well. But I think it was about safeguarding our best player.
The demand for what is expected of the front players in pressing and their energy levels means that actually that game plan of having a kind of secondary front three makes sense. It was almost exactly the same changes as it was the weekend against Leicester. So it makes sense.
No, absolutely. But having said that, the positives, what I noticed about Liverpool, after about 25 minutes of the game, they stopped pressing us. They couldn't get near us. We
sat off, and we made them more compact, and
we picked. We had control of that ball. There was no panic. I was, watching this thinking, it's 30 minutes gone, 35 minutes gone. Van Dijk's header in the second minute. We haven't created any clear-cut chances ourselves, but this is an equal battle here. These are two very good teams, well matched. It was just before half time. They had a couple of sniffs through that. Trent Alexander done floated a couple of balls over the top, and for the first time, there's a bit of space, slightly better. I think Mane had a swipe at his left foot that went over, and then the first 5 minutes of the second half, you think, all right, okay, they've had a bit of a rocket. They've upped their tempo a bit. They're trying to impose their game on us rather than allow us to do the same to them. And it did make a difference. And look, the goals came, 54, 56 and 62 minutes. Job done. Game over. But I think both teams realised that at the time. There was not... Were there any other chances? I mean, they had a couple of breaks. We had a couple of breaks as well. It's that final ball. I do think that Saka had a poor game by his standards, and I think that was the case on Saturday as well. I think Arteta plays him pretty much every minute he can, doesn't he? So, or starts him in every game that he can. But I wouldn't. And
there's a clear move where, that long ball, he stays high and wide. So he's always an outlet, whether it's a switch of play or whether it's a ball out from the back.
Yeah.
And, against Liverpool's high line, if those deliveries could have been caught in his stride, that was something we were looking to exploit. But Liverpool were just too good for that. Well,
Martinelli had the measure of Alexander-Arnold on the other side in a similar way.
Martinelli's chance towards the end.
Yeah, it's just, you just think, had it been, Indigo said it, had it been on target, the keeper would have got his hand to it.
Well, yeah.
It's just that he needed more pace on it, really, if he wanted to get it inside the post. But again, I think we played really well. This is the best team in Europe, probably, along with Man City. It's either Liverpool or Man City is going to win the Champions League. I can't see another team. I don't know. Bayern Munich have lost like 2 or 3 games in the Bundesliga now. They're gone off the boil. Real Madrid and Barcelona. Barcelona aren't even in the Champions League anymore.
Real Madrid conference.
Yeah. Oh God. Real Madrid's beat PSG. I mean, who? Chelsea, City, Liverpool. The winners coming from the Premier League.
You think?
But who else is in it? Real Madrid.
Well, yeah.
So we've actually, like, I think 2-0 was probably, 2-1 would have been, I think, a fairer result. I think we deserved a goal for our play.
I'd love to have scored just a goal.
But I don't think, yeah.
But like the Man City game on New Year's Day, there's credit in the bank. Everyone appreciates the effort and the development that's going on. I love the fact, I messaged you because obviously neither of us were there, but the crowd stayed with the team.
Yeah.
The whole game, even at 2-0 down, even when most people had left to try and beat the crowds at, Finsbury Park or wherever. And seems to be pulling in the same direction. And even a spirited performance that ends in defeat against Liverpool, ensures that.
Yeah, momentum is maintained.
Yeah. My worry is that a lot of our disappointing results seem to come in batches. And I really hope that this doesn't mean that. Because even though in the league, we after Man City, we obviously went on a non-losing run, which included the draw against Burnley, which was disappointing. But the 2 games immediately afterwards were the cup games where we went out of the FA Cup and the League Cup.
Yeah, so right. So I'm just looking now.
Villa are back in form again. That's the thing.
They lost at the weekend though, didn't
they? No.
They did. West Ham beat them.
Did West Ham beat them?
Because Yarmolenko scored.
Right. I mean, I missed that.
Yeah,
all I keep seeing is Coutinho chipping in with goals and assists. Oh yeah, they lost to West Ham. But that's interesting, isn't it? Because like you say, West Ham are missing players, but they still beat Villa. I mean, Villa at home, I don't know.
Well, the thing is, though, Villa are nowhere near as good as Liverpool. So we're going to have a lot more of the ball. We're going to create. I love the way Thomas Partey is playing. I think.
Will we have a lot more of the ball? Because against Leicester, it felt like we had plenty of the ball, but we really didn't.
Okay, so I'll maybe rephrase it. We'll have a lot more of the ball in their third.
Yeah.
So in kind of their defensive third, whereas we didn't against Liverpool. We had opportunities, but you knew we had to take one of them because we didn't know when the next one was coming along. Whereas we're playing that well at the moment that we had 26 shots against. I think the stat I gave you at the weekend. Is it 6 of the last 10 games we've had over 20 shots in? So we're having and Villa will be the same as that. I mean, Villa aren't. I don't know. I mean, Martinez is going to have a point to prove against us, isn't he? He'll be. The game of his life is upcoming on Saturday. You fear it. If I could have one of their players miss a game through injury, it would be him in this game. I
think I'd get rid of Coutinho. I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Silky player.
Yeah, no, he's very good. And they're a good side. They've got Jacob Ramsey, who's really kicked on this season. Ollie Watkins. Who's their other striker?
Danny Ings.
Yeah. Are they scoring a lot? I don't know.
I think they're scoring enough, but they're not tearing up trees. I know Ings has had a spell out injured, but they're all chipping in. Villa seem like a side a bit like us, where there's not necessarily one person that they're sort of filtering through. They can all chip in here and there. You said Ramsey, he's in my fantasy football team, and that's why I've noticed him. He looks like a real prospect.
Yeah. They've also got another player who's refusing to sign a contract that we're interested in.
What, forward?
I don't think so. I think I don't know. Borussia Dortmund are also interested in him, and they were suggesting that he's their next kind of buy cheap create a superstar, sell for 100 million player. That kind of like.
Well, they've done it before with a player from Birmingham. So.
They have Jude Bellingham, who I'd love to come to Arsenal.
I love him. He's a glorious player.
Well, how about this? How about? Don't tell anyone, but how about we sneak over to Dortmund and raid 2 of their players? Because there's all this. See the quotes that are doing the round. Humour me. The quotes that are doing the rounds at the moment.
Are you going to talk about Odegaard being friends with Haaland?
No, look, that's part of it. But have you read Haaland's quotes this week?
No.
He said, well, because the buyout clause is 60 million or something like that. So no club has to deal with Borussia Dortmund. That's the buyout clause. So it's all on him. He decides. And Man City and Real Madrid are the 2 favourites, right? And really, realistically, the issue is his agent wants something like 30 million or something like that to bump up the price. But anyway,
is that his dad?
No, it's not his dad. It's either right. Is it it's not, I don't know, is it Mina Raiola or someone like that, or Pete Zahavi? I'm not know. It's one of the super agents that you'll have heard of. But Haaland has always said, because he chose Dortmund instead of one of the big European clubs, because he saw that was the best move for his development as a player. So he's in, like he says money's not an issue. Money's not his deciding factor. He said, and get this right, his quotes included words like, he's more interested in the project. Now, come on, we've heard the word project quite a few times, haven't we?
Just a bit.
He wants to go to a place where there's a good feel, a good atmosphere, a good vibe. There's an upward trajectory. It's like he was talking about us. Come on. If enough people think it, it will happen.
When we next chat like this, you'll have tinfoil on your head.
I don't suppose you've ever watched Better Call Saul?
No, I haven't.
A spin-off. Did you watch Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad, yeah, of course.
Well, so Better Call Saul is just brilliant. I love it. Right. But his brother is a bit of the tinfoil. He has tinfoil insulation on his house and everything. Anyway, yeah, that's not me yet. ... But why not? Why not?
I think
400 grand a week wages maybe might be the
the wages will be the issue then.
But his character fits, his age profile fits. The guy is immense.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't know what he'd be talking about, because like you say, actually, I mean, he could take the easy route and go to Bayern, but I think he'll want a different league.
Well, interesting about Bayern, Lewandowski wants to leave Bayern, so yes, there is a natural or logical, but I'm not sure. I think, look, that's not the smart money. All the money is on either Real Madrid or Man City. That's because,
especially because looking at the other teams, Juve have just bought Vlahovic, Barcelona are in all sorts of financial trouble and got Aubameyang.
But they're also going to buy.
PSG is an interesting one, because Mbappe could go to Madrid and then he could go to PSG.
Yeah. But that would be about the money.
That's not a project.
No, that would be about the money.
Well, yeah.
So the project, the only project he could possibly be referring to is the Arsenal one.
Man United.
That's not a project. I mean, they don't even know who their manager's going to be.
I watched Man United, Atletico Madrid. I think what's really annoying me about the top 4 race is, in my head, I still think Man United are going to do it. But every time I watch them, I think they're a car crash. They're just an absolute joke.
And they could
Harry Maguire looks like the ghost of Nanny from Count Duckula. He's just lost on the pitch and just making horrendous mistakes. Next to Varane, who's like the best defender like this generation. And they're just a basket case of a team. And
yet they could finish above us.
And I'm convinced that they are the ones who are going to finish 4th, because they've just got, it's just that thing, they've just got too much in terms of individual players. And
the only thing we've got is we have to play them at our place.
Yeah.
which has now been scheduled. It's a 12:30 kickoff, I believe, is it a Saturday?
Yeah. Yeah. The supporters club coach that I normally get, they're not running travel that weekend because there's either not enough interest or the minibus driver's not available. But so I'm driving myself down nice and early for that one.
Not enough interest in Man United game.
Probably not. No, you got to remember I'm in Norfolk, and that's a Category A game at 12:30 on a Saturday.
Yeah, I just think. I mean, I hate it. I hate it. I hate the game. I won't enjoy that game at all.
I will enjoy you not enjoying it.
I will hate it. I won't watch it. I'll turn my back. I'll be. I just remember the FA Cup final in 2005. It was 2005, wasn't it? I think it was. Yeah. At Cardiff.
Paddy's last kick.
And we were awful against Man United. Awful. I mean, they must have hit the woodwork 2 or 3 times. We had Bergkamp playing a lone role up front, like he had no pace whatsoever, and yet he was isolated up front. We went to extra 0-0. How we got to 0-0 at 90 minutes, who knows? It went to extra time, during which we had Reyes sent off, which was a blessing because he was awful and he would have taken one of the penalties. Left footer, never trust a left-footed penalty taker. Chris Waddle, Stuart Pearce, etc. It's like, and it went to the penalties. Bang, 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 bang. Do you know? And Scott, was it Scholes missed his? I think it was Scholes that missed the Man United one. And then Patrick Vieira, we knew it was his last game, last ever kick of a football, wins the FA Cup. And that was the first second in the entire match, day, week build up that I enjoyed. I suffered the whole lot, every second up to that point. But that second, the ball hit the back of the net and we won that. If I could have scripted a way to beat Manchester United, that would have been it. The injustice that they must have felt. I know Rio Ferdinand hates that. He refuses to talk about that game. The injustice they felt losing that game to us just brings a smile to my face every single time I think of it. Much prefer that to when we beat Aston Villa 4-0 in the cup final or whatever.
Well, that's my only cup final that I've been to in person.
Well, that's a good one.
It was comfortable, but like you say, I couldn't do the whole one because I didn't qualify for a ticket. And then Chelsea game, I would have qualified for a ticket, but one of my best friends was getting married, which was unbelievable.
Inconsiderate.
So out of the 3, I got to the Villa one, and that was the most. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm delighted to see Arsenal win a trophy live for the first time. But as a spectacle.
I get the whole City one just almost destroyed me at the game. It took me weeks to recover my energy levels after that game. It was so draining. The Chelsea game I didn't go to. I gave I had 3 tickets for it, and I gave them to my mate to bring his 3 boys, which was like, that was I think the only game that all 4 of them had gone to. It's certainly the only big game all 4 of them had gone to. Not a bad game, that.
That's good.
So that was all right. I can live with not attending that game. But yeah. Well, how did we get onto this? Is that because we're talking about success because we lost tonight?
Yeah, maybe. No, we're just talking about the fine margins. I mean, speaking of Patrick Vieira, after Villa is Palace on a Monday away. Be nice if he could just, relax the training a little bit that week for Palace so that we can...
That's a tough game.
Well, this is the thing. So they flashed up our next 6 fixtures, and to me, the next 4 kind of decides whether we're really in it or not, because they should be games, because they're all teams below us, that we'll want maximum points from. But I'm convinced that somewhere along the line, we won't. And then it's going to feed into a bit of, not negativity, but certainly sort of, doubt and fear going into the likes of Man United and West Ham games. So it's Villa,
Palace,
Brighton, Southampton.
Southampton's away as well, isn't it?
Southampton's away. So yeah,
So that's
Villa away, Palace away, Brighton at home, and then Southampton away.
So you think 12 points, and we've got 4. See, the thing is, if we don't
I
finish
don't think
fourth,
we've got fourth. If we win the 12 points, I think it really could be on. That's all, because it still comes down essentially to how we fare against United, West Ham, Tottenham, and Chelsea. I think they all have a big bearing on it, but actually, it's still about getting those points against teams we should get points from.
And we've done okay.
And I just think that a banana skin somewhere along the way.
Yeah, but banana skins for all clubs as well.
Yeah.
As that, unless Man United go on a 6-7 game winning streak, same Spurs. I mean, Spurs. I think someone did I think Spurs' last games have gone WL. It's like, so they're due to lose to West Ham on the weekend.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Actually, like you say, in my mind, Villa have been doing quite well, but as you pointed out, they've lost their last game. Palace, good rearguard action against Man City, but they're kind of just middling around mid-table, which is good for them.
Away to Palace under the floodlights.
Oh, it's never easy.
Don't
never
like that.
Easy. No. Brighton, we could be playing in a good position. Hopefully, they won't turn things around too much in a couple of weeks.
Well, home to Brighton, doesn't matter what form they're in, we should be winning that game.
Should be winning that, yeah. And then and Southampton seem to have dropped off again after a really good middle part of the season, and then Man United roll into town. That's going to be massive.
If we win those 4 games, I don't think it matters what happens with Man United. I think we can draw. I think we can draw against United, draw against Spurs. And so long as we don't lose both of those games, I guess. But I think it becomes, if we win the next 4 games, that's a huge if. If we win the next 4 games, then the onus is on both those teams to beat us.
Cool.
Mind you, when is the Spurs game?
April 23rd.
Have they scheduled
Saturday,
the Spurs game?
No, not yet.
No,
Chelsea's been scheduled.
Yeah.
That's the week after. It's either late April, early May. I can't remember.
It's in April, the Chelsea game is.
It is in April, is it? 20th. Oh, brilliant. So we've got Chelsea on the Wednesday and then Man United on the Saturday lunchtime.
Easy. When do Chelsea play in Europe?
Well, I've got no idea.
Hang on, Chelsea. Will they? Arsenal won't be able to sell any tickets for the Chelsea game if they haven't.
No, there'll be no away fans, and only season ticket holders.
That'd be weird.
That will be weird. I don't know who that advantage is. No one really, I suppose.
Well, Chelsea will have 20,000 home fans in the ground, or 22, 23,000, however many season tickets they've got.
It'll still be a weird atmosphere.
Yeah. But who knows what it'll be like by then? Apparently, there's deadline for bids for the club is Friday, I think.
Chicago Cubs.
Yeah, that's what I've been reading. Yeah.
So Chelsea are into the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
What dates are they scheduled for?
That's what I'm just trying to look up, but I can't see. No fixtures for this date. See, BBC don't, until the game is scheduled, they don't tell you what the placeholder dates are. So, but you'd imagine it would be a couple of weeks to get the other ones finished as well.
So they'll have, distraction in as well there, and they're probably going to be quite safe in the league by then as well. I think if we win our games in hand, we're still going to be 4 or 5 points behind them now. It would have been 2 points. Would have been 2 points behind them or 1. So whatever it is now, but we. How many points are we ahead of Spurs? 6 or 3? 3. Sorry?
4, isn't it? Because they won and we lost 4 points, I thought.
Was it 7? I thought it was only 6 we were ahead of them.
We've got a game in hand. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so I think we're 3 points ahead of them with the game in hand.
3 points with the game in hand.
Oh, yeah.
It's all far too close.
It is, and there's too long to go. We'll give ourselves.
Wolves are on 46. Tottenham 48. West Ham 48. They've played 29. Man United 50. They've played 29, and we're on 51, and we've played 27. So we've got 1 game on Tottenham and 2 games on the others.
And we play because
we play
Man United,
Man United, and Chelsea.
Man United don't play this weekend, so one of our games in hand on Man United technically is Aston Villa on Saturday, because they're not playing, we are. So we have to be 4 points clear of United, and we'll still have a game in hand on them. And our goal difference is just a little bit better than theirs, I think.
4 goals, yeah.
Yeah, so that's nothing.
West Ham have got the same goal difference as us, and Spurs have got +9. We've got +12, so
so they're negligible.
It's so close.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. It's going to be so disappointing.
Yes, I was going to say that if we don't get 4th, we will be very disappointed, which is a good and a bad thing, because
that's it. We're completely out of Europe, so to get back into Europe is, thinking objectively, a step forward. But we all know that it's really about the Champions League. It's playing Tuesday and Wednesday and at the weekend rather than Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah, and it's the player that you will attract.
It's the player you will attract. It's the players you will keep.
Yeah, we're looking for 2 big players, a midfielder and a striker, and then others as well. But they're the 2 first 11 players we're looking for, if you like, the first teamers to improve the first 11. We'll get a better caliber of player getting into the champion with the promise of Champions League football than Europa League or no European football. I mean, I don't want to finish 7th.
Qualifying for the Europa Conference, would that be?
Yes.
Jesus.
Anyway, let's anything else? Any other takeaways from?
Not that I can think of. There was that weird moment when apparently someone came out of the crowd to chain themselves to the goal. That
was would have been where we're in front of where we were sat.
They would have come out from pretty much where we sit or stand.
I wonder, was it? I'm sure we'll find out at some point. But sounds to me like some kind of protest, probably Russia related, perhaps.
Russia-related protest, yeah.
Or just somebody thought, I know what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to tie myself to this goalpost.
There's only one way we stop Liverpool beating us, and that's by having the game called off.
Yeah, I'm all in favour of that. I can get on board with that. When I saw that happen and where it was, I suddenly thought, who's in my seat? Who's got my ticket?
Yeah.
I thought, no, I've sold it back to the club. It's not on me. It's on me.
That's what I mean. It did cross my mind. I can't remember getting an email saying mine had sold, but I think it did.
Oh yeah. Mine, I had them on, put them on a ticket exchange, and 5 minutes later they'd both gone. That was on Friday. It was quite late in the day, but right. I think look, we're a bit jaded. It's a school night. It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
There's a full day of teaching to happen tomorrow.